Alrighty guys, g'day. Welcome to another new week, another big week on the charts. How are you all doing, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, as always. A very good evening, ladies and gents. TikTok, welcome to you too, whoever is viewing on TikTok. Here we go. G'day guys. So welcome guys, hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had a really good weekend. Last week was obviously a really good week on the charts. We got a new month, so going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward into June. So usually this time of year the charts are a little bit slow, obviously with a lot of the hedge funds, a lot of workers, obviously family trust and that going on leave for the summer period for those of you over in Europe and the UK and the US. So can be at times a little bit slow, but again, we just what we need to do is just plan, create some rules, and sit back and patiently wait for those to be met before we look to take any trades. So guys, just before I get underway, if you could please make sure to hit the like button, let others know we are here. Also guys, if you have not done so yet, do have a look at the video that I did upload over the weekend. Really good education there for free. I was just explaining that gold sell we took on stream on Wednesday. So once again, have a look at that in your own time. But without further ado, guys, I will get underway with the analysis. To the TikTok guys, I'm not sure how long I'll stay on. I have to be very careful on TikTok. Got it banned on my last stream for whatever reason, and 5 minutes later it's a really nice trade. So those who are viewing on TikTok, make sure to jump across and subscribe to the YouTube channel. without further ado, guys, let's get underway. Looking forward to another big week on the charts, and starting with as always, GJ. So previous weekly candle closed back a bullish candle. I'd call that a weak bullish candle. However, closed close to a tie and slow, long wick to the downside. So that would suggest to me we've grabbed liquidity from the downside. We begin to break the high of that previous weekly candle. The high probability price will continue to the upside once again. Got to go back a hell of a long way since we last at these levels, 2008. So it's at 26 years ago, if my math serves me right. So we've got a long way to go until we're last at that level. So pretty much in price discovery once we begin to break above the previous weekly candles high. Onto the daily, and the structure on that time frame is still obviously bullish. And what we've got is the previous daily candle closing back a strong bullish candle, bullish engulfing candle, high low, high high. Based off the back of that, when we are to break, and we've already broken the high of the previous candle, there's a high probability price would continue to the upside. The issue with this though is obviously got this resistance to the left on the daily, which is at that previous weekly candle's high. So therefore, once again, based off the daily time frame, if we begin to break above the previous weekly candle's high, the resistance formed on the daily, obviously going to be resistance on the other time frames as well, then there's a high probability price will continue to the upside. So having said that, seeing we have a high low, high high to the previous, really have no need to pull back down and break our own low if we were to continue bullish. So therefore, I'm going to mark in the low of the current daily candle. If we begin to we'll pop below it, see what sort of options we might have to sell it below that level moving forward. Now on to the 4 hour, and the structure on the 4 hour still remains bearish, believe it or not. Got a swing point just here. Obviously we've closed below that swing point on this impulse to the downside, flipping the structure bearish. As long as we remain below the previous weekly candle's low, we are technically bearish in structure on the 4 hour, and we are hovering just below that resistance. So based off that, we've got a very strong bullish candle on the previous candle. Look what the current candle is doing. Look at this, guys. That's a pause right there. It's pulling back to potentially tap into that level. It doesn't mean I'm just buying it now. This is the first time I've really had a proper look at the charts so far for today. That is a pause. We are trending to the upside. We've got counter probabilities to the upside on the higher time frames. We've got a bullish engulfing candle on the previous 4 hour. I'm going to mark in some support and resistance. So I'm just going to mark it in the most recent highs. There's obviously a level of resistance. That was previous weekly candle's high. I'm marking the support formed on the previous candle. I'm going to leave it at that for the time being. And we'll see what we've got once we go down to the M30 now. All right, so I can adjust this now. All right. So we are potentially pulling back to tap into that previous 4 hour candle's high just now. So I'm going to mark that in. Now, within the current daily candle, we have created a lower wick. Not quite tapping into a level that I wanted for price to tap into during the weekend webinar that I uploaded yesterday onto for the Discord guys. However, we have created a lower wick, which is obviously at least we've grabbed some liquidity from the downside. So we don't necessarily need to pull back once again to break that support to head back down. However, if we do pull back below 200.5, then there is a chance that we're going to come back down further. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to look to sell it, especially being first day of the week, especially being against the bias, against the trend, which is to the upside. 4 time frames to the upside, just more 3, sorry, not 4 hour. You got the daily, you got the weekly, and you got the 30-minute bullish. And I may just look for a pullback, see which level of support price may respect for us to head back up. However, we'll see what happens if come London Open we're hovering below at 20.50, perform support back at this level. So first of all, buys above it, I'm just going to put that in. Buys above this previous resistance. Now if we pop back down to that level, what I want to see if I was to sell it was, first of all, support form yet again, maybe begin to consolidate. Then if price starts to close back below at 20.50 level, tap in. I may entertain a potential sell option based off that scenario if it was to play out. So I'll put it in, but I'm not, doesn't mean I'm just going to take it. Obviously I need to see prior to it how we do approach that level. Now whoever buys obviously from lower down would have buy it above the high. On continuation, I think there's a good chance for it to continue to the upside. A high probability we begin to break the current daily counter size, and we just formed a resistance on the most recent swing to the upside. We're creating high lows, high highs yet again. So there could be options to potentially buy it as we begin to break above, close above the resistance form, just below the current daily counter high. So I'll be looking for potential buy options above 2629, closure above it, and then probable options as price begins to break the high of the current daily candle would be the likely scenario. So that's something I'd be looking at for the buys. Again, it just depends how we approach, and buys from obviously lower down, guys. So that is GJ for the time being. Just tapped into that 4-hour level, and we'll see how it responds to it. So the level that we've just previously broken out of. And yeah, that is GJ. So hopefully it makes sense. And I'll have a look at gold. Did anyone actually watch Discord, guys? Anyone actually watch the weekend update that I posted on GJ and gold? It's pretty much playing out at the moment. Obviously we just need to wait for it to set up in a way to give us a potential entry. All right. On to gold, guys. In the meantime, please make sure to hit the like button. Let others know we are live on stream. All right, just one moment, guys. No idea why I keep saying I'm not live on my end of things. You guys are there? You can see me? I'm still with you? I hope so. Alright, yep, well, alright, thanks Carl. Alright, so now I can move on. Apologies guys, let's get cracking, have a look at gold. Alright, starting with the weekly time frame. And obviously at previous weekly candle, it once again rejected a level that I predetermined during the weekend webinar of the previous week. The price could pull back to, create its upper wick, and end up heading back down line for previous candle. Yes, it didn't close a strong bearish candle, closed very weak bearish candle. Did close with a lower high, lower low, did close a bearish candle. Current candle has pulled back a little bit within the previous candle. I did mention in the update video when we have candle closing like so, a long wick in one direction, in this case to the upside. Your candle doesn't necessarily need to create much of an upper wick if it was to continue bearish. Could potentially pull back anywhere from around below the open of the previous weekly candle. Has now since broken a low of the previous weekly candle. I'm going to mark that in. We're going to see what we've got below that level. So weak bearish on the weekly, but we already have counter probabilities on the current weekly candle to the downside. Looking at it on the daily. So what we can see on the daily is structurally we do remain bullish, but once again we have counter probabilities to the downside. We've got a little bit of margin to come back down towards that 23.08. I think it's the level I mentioned in yesterday's update video. If we were to continue now bearish, we have no need to pull back and break our own high. If we do so, at that point there, what we've likely done is just grab liquidity from the downside. We begin to break above, there's a high probability we'll pull back further and potentially end up closing a bullish candle on the daily time frame. So technically bullish in structure, but what we do have is counter probabilities to the downside in line with that previous weekly candle. Now onto the 4-hour. What we can see is structure is definitely bearish in a 4-hour. We're now approaching a support here to the left. Just gonna mark that in. So a little bit more margin below the current level. We've just broken through a support. The previous support formed basically on the first candle, which was at the previous support here to the left. We had a weak bullish candle closure, doji candle. We have since engulfed that in the previous candle. I have a lower high, lower low in the current candle. So it looks like we could potentially pull back, potentially continue to the downside down towards that 23.10 to 23.08. So I'm just going to mark in the resistance formed on the previous candle. That lines up with the current daily candle high. That is a level that if we begin to pop above, close above, I'd likely be looking for my buy options. Now, obviously, be looking for sells on a pullback below that level. Now, I'm going to mark in also some more levels on the M30. All right, anyone in a gold sell at the moment? I'm definitely not. All right, looks like we've got some pretty clean traffic to the left. That's a bearish candle wick. I'm not as concerned by that because bearish candles are what confirm resistance, not support. If that was a bullish candle wick, after a bearish candle, for instance, that confirms support. At this level, we don't have that. So to me, it looks like we've still got some pretty clean traffic down to the lows. What I'm gonna do is mark in the most recent support that price is broken out of. And that is on the M30. All right, so looking at the gold, I could mark in a level just here as well. And the options for me is I'd rather sell it. My bias is to the downside. What I'd be looking for is either a pullback to retest that zone, that being, look for signs of rejection to potentially sell it back down. Now, it all depends how this candle closes, because we could have a valid limit order entry at the closure of the current candle based off the fact that this is the pause, we've engulfed it. We could even use the fib trick that I used on last week's stream, where we can line up from the high to the low of this candle, 50%. I'd probably use from the closure to the highest point, or you could simply look to place a limit order as price taps into that pause, below that pause. So that's an option. Let's look into 15 quickly. Or the other option would be to simply place a limit order as price taps into that zone in anticipation it's likely going to pull back to retest it. We are to continue in line with our catalyst candle, which is the current M30. If it closes strong bearish, then we're likely just going to reject that level and end up heading back to the downside. Now, if we were to continue bullish, we begin to pop above. Got some pretty clean traffic to the left above the most recent pause. However, seeing it's a Monday, what I'd prefer to do is trade it with the trend. We'll see where we're at though for London Open. There's going to be a potential buy above this level. Otherwise, I'm just going to be waiting for pullbacks to be met by resistance to potentially sell it. And if we begin to pop above the current daily candles high, at that point there, it's a more probable setup for me to look for a potential buy. Not only that, we'll be flipping 30-minute structure back bullish. So at this point, I feel it's the better option. It's just to be safe and wait for buys above that level there. Once we have the confirmation of the M30 structure, flipping back bullish. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking for pretty much my sell options anywhere below that level for the time being. I'm just going to drag that up. So very similar scenario right now to a trade on last Wednesday stream, I think it was. So let's just figure this out. So if that, for instance, is the close, that point just there, or just that, probably use the fib, and that lines up with basically that bullish candle. So that would probably be a level I'd look for a potential sell from moving forward, guys. So we'll see how we go though. That is gold, that is GJ. Let's watch gold. Now, have we tapped into a target? Because if we have, I'm not as keen on it. Let's just mark in this level here to the left. Make sure I want to be closing below that level. Yeah, apart from that bearish wick, pretty clean traffic to the left hand side. So all right, let's see. Thank you for the sub. I don't think I'm gonna worry too much about that level just there because we've actually popped below it, broken below it. It's just a matter of right now. Thank you once again. It's a matter of right now, just seeing when his candle closes. I want it to close. I don't want to close with a big wick to the downside. If it does, then maybe what we've done is tapped into our target just here to the left, and we're going to bounce off it. So I want it to close close to that level. I want this candle not to continue to pull back. If it closes a weak bearish candle, I'm likely just going to have to wait for a little bit more data, possibly wait another 30 minutes before we can look for any possible entries. So just a matter of when this candle closes in the next 4.5 minutes. Right now, the way it's pulling back, not liking it. So we just need to wait and see. Once again, guys in TikTok, do jump across to the YouTube channel. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm not going to be hanging on TikTok for too long. For obvious reasons. I'm not sure how the algorithm works. I got banned pretty quickly last time for God knows what reason. But to the guys in YouTube, welcome. Hope you're all doing well. I hope you all had a really good weekend. Wow, look at this. So the way this is now retracing, this would really, I think, open up options to look for the buy above that bullish candle's high. It doesn't mean I just buy it on impulse, just still all depends how this candle closes. So if we just wait 3.5 minutes, and once we've determined if there's going to be a potential entry or not, if there is not a potential entry, we're going to start looking at GU and eventually NAS as well. So guys, good morning to you, Carl. Elias, good morning. Child, good morning to you, brother. Caspiro, I repeat my GJ cells, 10 pips away from stop loss. You're in GJ cells. Doesn't look like you'd be at your stop loss. If you're in GJ cells, you're looking pretty good, my friend. Depends where you got in, obviously. Thank you for that, Carl. Saxy, good morning to you. Ian, good morning. Franco, good morning, my friend. And Lau, good morning to you. Same old names, same old faces. Hope you're all doing well, guys. Welcome. And to the new new subscribers, do join the free Discord group. There is a link down below. You get access to heaps of valuable content. Plus you get access to Tuesday and Wednesday New York session for Discord members only. And that is just the live Zoom call. So for free. No hidden catches or anything. So feel welcome to join and say g'day in the chat. We've got a minute and 45 seconds remaining on this current candle. Let's see how it closes. $15 is closing at this stage a strong candle. So we want this candle to start pulling back if we are to look for any sell options on the next candle. Because we're in interest in GJ cells with break support. Well, it's already broken a support. It's not a support yet. That's the thing. It's previous resistance. Are we going to hold as support though? So I did mention on the 4 hour, that's the pause and it's tapped into the pause. Your stop loss would have to be technically below the 4 hour low. The way it's bouncing off just now, difficult because we've got this long wick to the downside, so it could make it a little bit tricky. All right, so gold looks like it's going to close a weak bearish candle, so it's not going to tick the box just yet. Means we're patiently going to have to sit and wait. Rick, good morning to you, brother. Hope you're well. Yeah, so it's going to close. Definitely not a strong enough closure to the downside for sells. So we're just going to sit back and wait on gold. All right, so now the option, seeing the way that candle rejected leaving a long wick to the downside, that suggests to me just grab liquidity from the downside. We're not quite tapped into that 4-hour support though. Tapped into the consolidation area though here to the left. What else have we got? The daily also looks like it could still come down a bit further. So that would be my only concern about looking for buys at the moment. So what I want to see, very simple rule right now, if I was to entertain any possible buys on, and it has to be the next 30-minute candle because it's going to require a 30-minute closure, what I want to see is bullish engulfing candle closing above this resistance. At that point there, we're going to start popping back above previous support here, also to the left. At that point, we're likely going to pull back further into the current daily candle and potentially retest 23.29 to 23.30. The very simple rule right now, bullish engulfing candle, and I will consider a buy in the next 30 minutes if that was to be the case. As far as the sells, probably the same type of thing, but I probably now need to see a bearish engulfing M15. Just try and look to the left of the 15. All right, let's see what we've bounced off. So we haven't tapped into that level just yet. Scenario I probably want to see just now, I don't want to trade within this wick, to be honest, because you're trading against a very strong bullish M15. I'd rather this candle, but anything could happen. It could do it to close bearish engulfing, followed by a weak pause, a weak bullish candle on the following M15. As the new candle opens up, creates an upper wick against the break. That's when I consider taking a sell. So I want to avoid this wick just now on the 30. So that is likely what I'm going to be waiting for on gold for the potential buy and for the potential sell. Now I could also look for sells if it does pull back only to reject 23.23. That is the most recent swing point that we have formed within the daily candle, the move to the downside. If we were to continue bearish, we should respect that level. Once again, if we pop above it, we're going to start at that point there. There's a high probability we're going to start to head back up further into retest the 30-minute structure. So if we remain below it, I could look for myself. So that is now my plan moving forward on a gold. To the few of you in TikTok, make sure to jump across to the YouTube stream. I'm not sure how long I will stay on live. All right, so there's no option right now on gold. How did GJ close? Closed right back at that 4-hour resistance. We're starting to pop back below it. Not yet formed support that level. So it's just been a straight move to the downside. Nothing really to give me any catalyst to sell it. Was not interested in selling it into that previous resistance in case it just bounced straight off it. It's obviously starting to pop back below it just now. So once again, we could be looking for potential buys lower down. Now we could pull up potentially at this level. Most recent support formed within a current daily candle on the impulse to the upside. So that's the next level of price could potentially pull back to form a support at, and we could look for our options to potentially buy it above that level. So as candles print, guys, you see how I reassess, analyze. So I'm moving that. I'm going to get rid of all this just now. And this is our new range. Between 20 38 and 2060. Well, 200.38 and 200.6. That is pretty much our new range at the moment. Alrighty, let's have a look at GU, which to me was a bit of a mess. I did some analysis, pre-London analysis, not long before the stream. But nonetheless, guys, I will have a look at it because I know some of you do trade it. And starting at the weekly candle, the previous weekly candle closed at pretty much an indecision candle. It is a weak bullish candle. It does have a high low, high high to the previous candle to the left of that one. Current candle just creates up a wick and is coming back down to its low. So are we going to make a deeper pullback? Could we create a deeper lower wick on a weekly? There's a good chance we will. And still, we don't know. It could end up trending bearish for the week. We have no idea just yet. It's way too early to know about that. We don't have a crystal ball as well. So looking at the daily, structure wise, we are bullish once again. Just very choppy price action, just in a really heavy area consolidation on the higher time frames, not giving us any clear direction. To me, it makes it difficult to plan as to what direction to trade. When I see this, likely what we're going to be doing is just trading a range. We're going to be stuck within a range. You can see the 4 hours pretty much the same. It is technically bullish. It's the highest point the market got to. This is the most recent swing point, so the origin of the swing to the upside, and we've respected that on the most recent attempt of that reattempt of that level. So you can mark that level in just now. Got more levels above that. We've got a most recent resistance. Let's see what I've got in the M30. So it's bullish on the 4 hour, it's bullish on the daily, bullish on the weekly. M30 structure is also bullish, and the bias is to the upside. Doesn't mean I'm just going to buy it. What I am seeing on GU, I'd just be trading the range. Right now, it's right in the middle of this 4 hour range between 127.250 roughly and 127.550. So for me, especially being a Monday, weekly candles creating wicks where it trends to the downside or upside. What it's likely to do today, maybe into tomorrow, is going to create a wick in the opposite direction to where it will trend. So the current candle has created up a wick. It's now pulling back. Well, where would I expect it or want it to potentially pull back to before entertaining buy options? Well, I've got this level 127.250. If price was to pull back to that level, provide my catalyst within price action, I'd be looking for my buys above. Similar to what we had over here, bit of consolidation. As we begin to pull away from that consolidation, that could provide for potential options. Now you could probably drag this up a bit, guys, to that point there. So if we do remain above 127.250 roughly, I'll be looking for my buy options. Would not be chasing the sells just now. Very little margin to the support. It could pull up just here really at 127.315, so that'll leave you like not even 4 pips at the moment. So that's the buy option. Sells if we just reject the current daily candles high yet again. Until otherwise, guys, until this thing decides to break in either direction and make it a clean move, I'd just be trading the range. Plain and simple. It's the only thing I feel is valid right now. Matter of waiting, right? Coming towards the lower end of the range. See what happens when price pulls back to that level. Wow, GJ melting. Take a look in the news. Today is June the 3rd, so we've got manufacturing PMI to come. That will be quite significant. The forecast is for the same as the previous. It's also above the 50. That should come out pretty good for the US dollar. So if you are trading into NY, be wary of that. Yeah, so you got ISM manufacturing PMI that is forecast to be greater than previous, but below 50. So it could be a bit of a mixed bag. Have to wait and see. Moving forward into the week, JOLTS job openings on Tuesday. Big one for the Aussie on Wednesday for my currency. So obviously a big week though with ADP to come. So that means we're going to have NFP as well. It is the first week of the month. ADP on Wednesday. ISM services PMI on Wednesday as well. Some high impact neuro news, unemployment claims, ECB conference. Wow, it's a pretty big week, guys. And obviously the big one on Friday with non-farm payroll. So be wary of all the news to come. If you are trading around times of news, make sure to be wary of the schedule for the release. We don't want to get caught out in any wild moves from the release of the news, do we, guys? Would have been a decent limit order sell based off the 50. Very early though, very early to look for that type of entry. GJ not melting yet, silent. It's making a decent move. Still very early, there's still no confirmation for me to look for an entry on either GJ or gold. Just needs to patiently wait. Kaspira, cut off my loss on GJ while I have the chance. Tough call, small loss is always better than full stop loss. Still quite wondering where did you get involved, my friend? Because you did mention you were in a sell. So obviously it's selling off right now. So if you could maybe send a chart so I can take a look for you. This is a chart marked in from last week, and as it's retraced to a previous level of support, acting as resistance just now. Will I do analysis on NAS? Gold. Let's watch gold actually for a few minutes. Let's just wait and see where this 15-minute closes. Mr. Phil, greetings to you. I hope you're well, brother. Oh, I appreciate all the input you have into the community chat, the Discord. There's a few of you in there who are constantly updating on your trades and sending in charts. So appreciate it, guys. Doing sells from 20.375. So you've been sells from very early during the Asian session by the sounds of it. See, for me, let's just say that was your range and you're looking to sell it below. You're looking to sell it below that point there. For me, there is not that great deal of margin. It's not the cleanest calcium. And what you got to think is you're playing within the middle of this range. This range itself at that point would have been all of 20 pips, 21 pips. So you're trying to sell it. It's like, what example could I give? Like when you're trying to squeeze out the last bit of toothpaste from the tube of toothpaste. When you know you're coming to the end and you really couldn't be bothered going down to the supermarket or, 7-Eleven, whatever you go to buy a new tube of toothpaste. And you're trying to squeeze out the last little drops. And all you get is this tiny little nugget, tiny drop. It's not enough to really clean your teeth. Doesn't really do much for your breath as well. It's the same here. It's like you're trying to squeeze out those maximum you've got in that range there is about, once you account for spread, about 8.5 pips. what's likely going to happen is if it triggers you in, I'm going to move a little bit. It's going to squeeze out that tiny bit of toothpaste for you where you can hopefully get to break even. But there's a high probability it's just going to bounce off the next support and you're not even got your 10 pips at that point there. So, and do that. So for me, I have a few people, a few of my students asked me, would it have been valid? A few took entries similar to that on, I think, Friday. In this range, I think it was. And to me, no, you need a minimum of around 15 pips, minimum. And yes, at times I still would have entered trades with less than that. But if so, you need to have a really strong catalyst. Here, I just don't see it. So hopefully that makes sense. Just where I was in sales since the opening of this week, went down to 150, but didn't close any partials. Greediness, did it? Yeah, well, I don't know if that was because you weren't on the charts, so you just weren't keeping an eye on it, for whatever reason. But yeah, if I had that much profit, especially at the start of the week, first trade of the month as well, I definitely would have been securing something. DJ coming back down. Still interested in buying it if it respects this level of support. We are still bullish on the M30 and we are bullish across the board. So as long as we respect this support, there could be options to buy it. Now, as the data prints and its candles close, I'm just going to remove levels, seeing we're having no respect for these levels. And at the moment, I'm just going to leave this in, but if this candle closes below it, then I'm going to remove this zone. And we'll be trading if this candle remains above the current level of 300.25. This will be money range between that level and 200.6. Nice clean moves though, opens the range up. So for Sills and GJ, 10 to 20 pips below 2020. Yeah, for me, you're selling into that support. So right now, if I was to consider sells, what I'd probably prefer to see is let it flip structure. Let it flip the structure on the M30. So I would say it flips below this support on a closure below it, and then look for sells upon the pullback. At that point, what we will have is the daily. Where can we potentially pull back to? Well, we've got this level that we've just broken, a previous support. So let the M30 flip the structure. If we do pull back to that level, which was a previous support formed, could act as resistance within the current daily candle. On flipping structure bearish in M30, if we do reject that level, an awkward drawing, but you guys get the picture. I'd be more interested in selling it at that point there, because the daily will still be forming bearish in line with the 30-minute structure after creating a nice move to the downside. But what will confirm that the validity of that will be, first of all, closure below support. If we get that, we're flipping the 30-minute structure. If not, then we could bounce off it still and potentially continue to the upside. Unlike these weeks, to me, it's just awkward trading within it. I've got severe buffering on my end of things. I don't know if it is buffering for you guys, YouTube. I hope not. violent. That's fair enough. We don't all have to agree on things all the time, so I see it differently. I see it that, well, you've got that level, which, so you're saying below that level, really, well, below the resistance, which is below the 2020 level. I look at it and think it's selling straight into this consolidation. Doesn't mean it can't make the move, but I just see it differently. And I respect that not everyone sees things the same ways. If we can all be profitable, then who really cares? That's the main thing, as long as we all do well. It's bouncing off that support just now. Alright, if that's the case, then we are to remain above it. I want to see a bit of consolidation. Bit of this happening. And we start to pop above the consolidation, we'll look for potential buyers later into the session. And gold, see how this candle closes. For there to be, in my opinion, any valid entry on the following M30, I want this candle to close a strong bearish candle below the most recent support we have formed on the 15-minute. If that is to be the case, then what I'd likely do is look for a limit order back at the low of that bullish candle. Now, at that point there would be closing as well. If we do close a strong bearish candle below the support previously created to the left-hand side here on the 15-minute. So that is what I want to see now if I am to consider any entry on gold shortly. How was the weekend, ladies and gents? Anyone get up to anything exciting? Hopefully it was more exciting than mine. Also, guys, there will be a few YouTube shorts being released this week. One will be dropped today, long after the stream. I think about 10:45 AM UK time. So just be on the lookout for that. There'll be a few more throughout the week as well. It's just a new series of shorts. And if you're not following me yet on IG and TikTok for that matter, make sure to do so. Be much appreciated. My friend, please learn how to read candlesticks. Do you see the size of the big as bearish candle? And maybe you should learn how to spell on GJ. Who's engulfing the other candles. Today we will go up to go to school. Today we'll go to school. Not a problem, my friend. Like I said, you're entitled to your opinion. You don't like it? No one's forcing you to be here. This is the good old song I remember. This is the good old song I remember. You just used to come on and troll. Used to drive Matt nuts. But the difference is I could not give a shit, in all honesty. I actually enjoy it. TikTok, how are we? Talk to me. Got the candlestick doctor in the house today, Mr. Silent. Good morning to you, Dot. I hope you're well. You want to start slowly and easily. Didn't get any study done this weekend. All good. Just take your time with it. All good. I'm not going anywhere, so spill out facts. All good, my friend. People I've got more than thick skin because quite frankly, I couldn't give a shit what you say, to be honest. You're just the face behind the screen. So you're in you're not even that. That's what I am. You're in a chat, mate. So why should I bother about what you say? It does not worry me the slightest. Nor does it put me off taking any trades in accordance to my plan. Just because you disagree with it. You do you, I do me. That's it. Let's see, I've got 3 minutes remaining. Once again, the rule is it needs to close a very strong bearish candle. Let me set up a Zoom call. Alright, not sure, Jimmy boy, James, if you are here, I'll send you a link to your Discord. Franco, I will send you a link as well. Dot, I'm assuming you're not really interested by that message in the chat, so I won't bother. Alright, gold potentially closing a strong bearish candle. Let's wait and see. Is it going to close sufficiently enough below for a potential sell option? I'll let you guys know. So 50 seconds remaining. It needs to close well below. It needs to start dropping if we are to look for potential sells on the next candle. I mean, it's still not the worst entry because what you've done is you're now approached and broken the current daily candle low. You are trending to the downside within the current daily candle. But at this rate, I'd rather it close significantly below. And that would be my catalyst. 30-minute, once again, we still have some scope to the downside. $30 is about to close. Let's see how the new candle opens nonetheless. It pops down and breaks the low of the previous candle before creating an upper wick. Then pulls back to create an upper wick. Has no need really, seeing it's already created a lower wick, to pull back down and create another, will break its own low. So at that point there, it could be options, but however, invalid just now because the current candle pulling back up to create the upper wick. For me, I'm just gonna chill, wait a little bit longer, and then see where we're at potentially for the open. DJ's closed at that support. All right, no problem, that's good. So we shall see. Are we going to respect it, or are we going to continue to move to the downside? All good, silent. No, it's not my entry, so I'm not missing nothing. Not missing a thing, my friend. You too, Silent. You have a good day, my friend. Tommy, mate, good morning to you. Hope you're well, brother. Do you want a link to the Zoom call? Let me know. You're about. If you could, guys, hit the like button. Only 19, 53 of you on stream. Guys in Discord, make sure to, first of all, make sure to follow. And also, do jump across to the YouTube stream, guys. With the TikTok, I'm not sure how often I will stream. And gotta be very careful on TikTok. Last time I did stream, I got removed. So, and not long after, we took a nice win on the YouTube. So make sure to jump across to the YouTube stream. Do join. And yeah, join the Discord as well. Jump across to the YouTube. Click on the link down in the description for the Discord link to the members group, and just join. It's for free. Gives you access to plenty of quality information. Plus, it gives you access to the NY live call twice a week for Discord members only.
Hey, good morning, Justin.
Good morning, Franco. How are you?
Fine. So, had a good weekend.
That's it.
Celebrating with the family.
Yep.
Yeah. So, it was a good weekend.
Nice one, brother. Happy to hear. Happy to hear it, my friend. What are you looking at this morning? But by the way, Tommy, I just sent you a link to your WhatsApp if you want to pop on when you're ready. So, hit a like, stop eating for free. That'd be much appreciated. To the person in TikTok asking by or S by or sell, right now, I'm just patiently waiting. Gold looks likely to come down. I don't yet really have my catalyst to sell it, so I'm just patiently gonna wait. This M15 breaks. I just don't like how it closed above that support. Seeing the daily is trending to the downside, there is a high probability as we begin to break support form within the daily candle that will create lower lows. I would have preferred for that to close below the bullish candle's low. So if anyone wants to jump in a sell, I mean, up to them. I'm just going to patiently wait. Conspiracy, I shared my GJ sales chart from earlier on Discord. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, that's where I thought you may have taken a sell. Alright. Good on you for seeing that in, nonetheless. I'll take more of a look at it later. Five-minute liquidity wick. So it's not bad for a sell right now, Cole. Potential.
Yeah.
Potential.
Yeah, I think so.
Not financial advice. Especially TikTok. Not financial advice. I'm waiting for the stream to end on TikTok. Jump across to YouTube, guys, on TikTok. Because I know I'm going to get banned in a minute.
Do we have problems with TikTok?
Yeah, remember last time? The GJ bouncing with support right now. I don't have the confirmation to buy it just yet, but at least we're remaining bullish in structure on the M30. So respecting that point, close below, we're going to start flipping, or we will flip the 30-minute structure bearish. That's right, we're bouncing off it. So I'm just going to remove this for the time being. And this is our new range for the time being, between 200.25 roughly to 200.6. So for gold, I'm still waiting. I like this pullback just now though. I'm liking this. Certainly, good afternoon to you.
So GU is very difficult to trade. I think the last 3 days.
Yep.
I don't really get the right confirmations to make a trade.
Yep.
Very difficult.
Well, that's it. If they don't have the right confirmation, we know just simply hold tight and wait. So for me on GU today, it's just a matter of it moving to either the low end of the range and looking for options to buy it, or retrace to the resistance to potentially sell it. I mean, within a current daily candle, so the daily is now forming a bearish candle. Let's mark in the open of it. Let's just see what is at that level. All right. So what I was going to say is maybe that resistance, if it pulled back to reject this level here, potentially could have some options to sell it, but that will flip the daily back bullish. I think it's just a really tricky area, to be honest, because if I was to sell upon a pullback just now, what I want to see is the daily still forming bearish at that level. At this point though, where I've just marked in that blue zone, the daily would be flipping back bullish, would have flipped back bullish. So potentially what we could be doing just now is creating the low wick for the daily. If we flip the candle back bullish, maybe we're going to head back up to the resistance. As long as we remain bearish within the daily candle and that level was below it, it could just be a pullback within the daily candle, still performing bearish at that point. It could reject yet again and head back down. So I think the same analysis applies as per the beginning. So just if you want to buy some support, sell some resistance.
Yeah, I think it's a good decision to wait, because we have these big candles, the big bullish and big bearish candle, and
yep.
I think maybe it's a good idea to wait when we go further these candles to have the right direction.
Yep, I think at the moment just need to wait. Gold, still, this is alright. It's alright to bring in some more buyers. So potentially this could be a new support. Doesn't mean I'll buy it. I'm not going to be buying it definitely at London Open on the next M30. Maybe reckless because we're trending quite heavily to the downside. Not only that, we've got lower highs, lower lows within the current daily to the previous strong bearish candle, broken levels of high time frame support. So I'd rather still look for my sells. But if we close back maybe a weak bullish candle, we'd have some potential sell options at London Open if price begins to break low of this pause. But we just need to wait and see. Not jumping into anything just yet. And TikTok, there's quite a few of you on stream. Make sure to jump across to the YouTube stream. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, there's linked to a free Discord group in there. Join. You get free access to live NY, which is twice a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. You get access to the community chat and fundamental sections, a fair bit within that area as well. So do jump across. Salmon from TikTok, you bought from, I assume you mean 23.27, kind of closed. Bought from 23, you sold or you bought? Because if you bought from that level, you're in fair bit of drawdown. You should have a plan for that, how to manage it. Are you sure you got your numbers right, mate? Because this is 33.27. Are we looking at something totally different? Lilith, good afternoon to you, my friend. GJ, wow, strong bounce off this support. All right, so what I want to see on GJ now is preferably in the next 3.5 minutes, this candle close above this previous support here to the left on the 15. Doesn't mean I'm buying it on the next M15 candle, not at all. But what that opens up is if, now this could be the option moving forward, if the following M15 closes a weak bearish candle, but we remain above that level, what we've done within a strong M30 catalyst candle, bouncing off the support, so the M30 will end up looking pretty much like so. Bounced off support, we form that minor pause, that minor resistance at previous support here to the left within the catalyst M30 candle. As the London open candle opens up, breaks lower wick, needs to pop above the catalyst candle's high. That could be a potential option to buy, which just made a clean move down and could retrace most of that move potentially. Doesn't have to, but it could. So that's what I'd be looking at moving forward. But right now, it's the way it's retracing. Still need to wait. We need to wait just over 2 minutes for the first confirmation, and then at least another 15 minutes for the following one. So once again, that's just me reassessing. Price has moved to a level that I'd like to get involved. I want to see the buyers protect, jump back into the market, defend this level. And now this is the rules that I'm creating as to what I want to see. Gold bouncing off. So right now, respecting the daily low, well, the support formed at it. We have created a lower low, but we're respecting the support we have just recently formed at that level. There is no entry option for me. Thank you for the gifts, by the way, on TikTok. I have no idea how it all works. I really have no idea. This is like my third live stream. I got banned on the second one for whatever reason. So hence why I stress, jump across to the YouTube channel, subscribe. The new membership for YouTubers open up as well, guys. So if anyone is interested, gives you some pretty cool access to some things, especially the funny little gifs, emojis, of myself. Plus, moving forward, it'll give you access to some members only content and tier 2, which it is there, but I will not bother joining for the time being because you get all that with the Discord, the free Discord at the moment. Will in the future be like the light version of the Discord where you get access to the MY calls and some members only content, but not all of the educational content and the community chat that the Discord obviously do get. So if anyone is interested, if you want to support the stream, that's how you can do so. First tier is like a cup of coffee for 1 month. The second tier is still very cheap. It's like 10 US a month. Jacob, they do that every second stream. What's that? Ban people. Selman, man, if you're still there in the TikTok chat, let me know, like, what you're talking about gold. Make sure you've got your entry right, because you've typed in 33.27, so that is definitely not correct on gold. Rajat, do you post set up Discord for learning and understanding as well, maybe with members? I jump in there, just jump in there and see what I do in there. I do heaps of content. I do daily analysis on, definitely on GJ and gold. I do it for 3 sessions. Except for Tuesdays, I can't do London. Well, I'm obviously on stream, but I can't do the pre-session analysis because I'm just too busy. Tuesday and Friday, but otherwise, pretty much every session of the week is covered. Gold and GJ is definitely covered. GU is covered for pre-London and MY for the most part, and NAS is also covered for at least MY. Plus, I answer any questions. If anyone sends charts into the members group, or into the Discord, into the community chat, I always have a look. I always reply. So just jump into it, my friend, and have a look. The link should be valid, the new link. I just updated the link into the chat, into the description, sorry, for the stream. Right, so gold's still bouncing as well, so no option for me to buy or sell right now. Look at this from gold. Wow. Yeah, I don't like the way GJ is forming just now. So I don't like how this we rejected this previous level of support here to the left. Will we come back down to retest the support and the level of structure on the M30? So around at 20 or 200.24, or just below it. And to me, I'm going to start considering the 30-minute structure bearish. And again, it doesn't mean I just sell it, because to me, we've got, first of all, some support here to the left on the M15. And to me, you'd be selling straight back into consolidation. So it would give me options to potentially sell upon a pullback, or if it just cuts through this mess to the left, creates a nice clean move down, then look for the pullback to retest potentially 200.2 or 200.25, reject, and potentially sell it moving forward. Jacob, yes, they do that, banning everyone in the second one. Oh, really? I thought it's because I put the little buy stop, sell stop, then we'll the position order, sorry, on the chart. I thought maybe that offended the algorithm of somehow. I have no idea how it works on TikTok, but it's definitely a lot more strict than YouTube, that's for sure. We got 9 and 10 minutes until session open. Jacob, they're your friends, and the same for nothing, but we appealed and it was lifted within. Oh, okay, so from another TikTok stream. Yeah, I appealed it as well, but it wasn't lifted. That's all good. Here's what it is. If I get banned from there, so be it. Not much I can do about it. Alright guys, I will be back in a few minutes. We'll be back well before session opens, so don't go nowhere. See what we can come up with for London Open. Be back in a few minutes, guys. Alrighty, guys. I am back. Apologies. Alright, so 3.5 minutes until session open. For me, there is nothing just yet. GJ still a bit uncertain at the support. We are still bullish. Trying to come back down, so we'll see. And gold, like it could close at this rate, and very strong bullish candle. So there's not going to be any sells. Now I'm not going to buy it just off the back of one candle against the bias, against the way the current daily is forming, against current probabilities to the downside, lower high, lower low on the daily time frame. So patiently just going to wait and see. Me, what I prefer to see if I was to buy it, still same scenario. I still rather see the 30-minute flip structure above 23.31. However, if we pull back to this level to retest the most recent swing point, most recent resistance above it, we've got some pretty clean traffic. If we reject yet again, only to end up closing back above it, could be options to maybe sell it. What other confluences do we have? Well, we have the 4 hour. Seeing it has a high low, sorry, a lower low, lower high to the previous. If it was to continue bearish, really should not need to pull back and break its own high. It has no need to really pull back and retest it. If it does so, and I feel there's a high probability at that point there that we could make a deeper pullback into that previous candle and potentially head back up to the resistance, playing within cleaner traffic on the M30, and that could potentially take us back up towards 23.29. So wow, look at it now. Strong solid push and gold. Once again, guys, we don't rush things. It was a really good month last month. Last week was a really good week to end it. Really good way to end the month. 3-0 on stream. The only 3 trades I took for the week as well, mind you. So it was a good solid end to the month. And we know if we just stick to our plans, stick to our rules, the high probability will be on the right side of things. Right now, I'm just going to remove that. $30 until session open. Alright, so London Open. GJ rejecting, was still above that support, have to close below it to flip the structure bearish. Still bullish, nice strong closure on the 15-minute bearish engulfing, still above that support, pop straight up at the open. Maybe there's no option on GJ just yet, I'd rather wait. And gold would below that resistance. Still bearish as well, so nothing just yet. No rush, guys, there is no rush. Gbpjpy? Yeah, big move, isn't it? Big bounce off that 23.15 level. nice strong closure, but again, it's in a downward trend at the moment. Gold plus the current daily has a lower high, lower low. It is forming bearish, so I'm not prepared to buy it just yet off the back of one candle, because we still could reject this high, still could come back down. Don't have a confirmation to sell it just yet because I don't have any, apart from the previous resistance, I don't have any current resistance, so this candle could just burst straight through it. So I'm gonna need to wait. It's at a level I can look for potential sells, but I just need to wait for now my catalyst to do so, to potentially sell from that level. And on the flip side, like I said, if we actually reject and close back a bearish candle, only to wipe that bearish candle out and start closing back above this 23, 24 sort of level, could get options to maybe buy it moving forward.
Yeah, so I have looked also on EU just in, and
EU?
also there. So price closed near to the resistance.
Yep.
So
Okay.
very difficult to take something. Yeah. So on the left side looks very good to go further up.
Yep.
But
Correct.
it's closing. It's not closing there above. So
No.
tricky.
It could still reject as long as we remain below that level. It could reject. So the good thing is now, if it triggers in sellers and you close back a bearish candle, very similar to gold, like you mentioned, you wipe those out and close above. You got clean trap to the left, creating a higher high. It's likely going to continue to the upside. You also have just recently, but it looks like it created the lowest point in the daily. Actually, no, that was earlier. But you've pulled back and respected that level, formed support above it. So I feel if we do begin to pop above again, it could be some pretty good options to buy it moving forward.
Yeah, but I think it's clear it's have to close above this resistance there.
Correct. I agree. Definitely for me. Alright, apologies guys, had to do some housekeeping quickly. My little man is off for a checkup, so been in the wars for most part this year, but he's getting better, so that's a good thing. Alright, so what I'm seeing right now on gold is, let's just say his 15-minute close is above this resistance. And if I'm to look for a sell, what I want to see is the next candle close back bearish, preferably engulfing. What that's going to do is leave a long wick to the upside. It's going to close the M30 back below this resistance. It's going to close it either at its open or hopefully, preferably, sorry, is the better word, preferably a weak bearish candle like so on the M30. That would trigger my catalyst to look for a potential sell on the following candle as it begins to break the low of what would be my catalyst candle, that previous M30. So just the way this current 15-minute is forming, that's what I'd be looking for a potential sell. Now, as far as the buy options, gonna be a little bit more risky, just depends, but really depends where this candle closes right now. So if this candle closes a relatively strong bullish candle, now I want it to close strong bullish, but I don't want it to eat into all the margin to the upside. something like so. First 15-minute candle closes like so, only to be followed by a very weak bearish. Next M15 candle, second M15 London Open. Creating that minor pause, creating that minor resistance on a 15-minute time frame within the Xauusd M30 candle, closing back above the most recent resistance formed on the way down. And if we are to continue bearish, the next M30 should just wick up, expect the high of the previous candle, and begin to head back down. And if we do the opposite to that, and begin to break above the minor pause, the high probability at that point there that we are going to pull back up towards that 23-29 region. So that's, once again, as data prints, is just me planning ahead as to what I'd like to see to get involved in any entry. GJ is a bit of a mess right now. So the focus is likely going to be gold, but a fair bit of time to wait though. Guys in the TikTok, do make sure to jump across to the YouTube channel. Please do so. I don't know how long until TikTok will give me another strike. So make sure to join the YouTube channel, subscribe. I will definitely stream daily on YouTube. Join a growing community. Cecile, gold. Yep, no entry for me just now. I'm just waiting patiently. So what I just mentioned a few moments ago is what I'm waiting for. And guys, make sure to drop a like, YouTube as well, TikTok. Give us a follow if you're not yet subbed on YouTube as well. Guys in the YouTube chat, feel free to show some love and do so while we wait for potential options. Let's analyze NAS. Let's do something while we wait. We've got a bit of time to wait on both gold and GJ. So looking at NAS, once again, starting the weekly time frame, and that candle to me is a weak bearish candle. So it's closed, definitely closed back bearish, closed with lower high, lower low to the previous candle. But it's obviously bounced off this previous resistance to the left-hand side to close back just a weak bearish candle. So difficult to know what to make of it, other than the fact we are above this previous resistance to the left. We have created a lower wick. We are pulling back. If we are to continue bearish, we should respect the high of the previous weekly candle. So potentially now we're just creating the upper wick. But we'll see what we've got once we go down to more so the 4-hour M30s, potential levels that we could reject to continue down, or potential levels of support we could respect to head back up. So weak bearish off the weekly time frame. Look at that previous daily close. Wow. So, and right at this previous support. And now we have counter probabilities to the upside. So that is a potential sign of reversal pattern forming at support. Potential morning start pattern playing out. So what we got on the daily time frame is structure was also retested on that level, and look what we've done. We've closed above it, so we're still bullish on the daily time frame. Now counter probabilities to the upside. Based off this, I feel there's a high probability at this rate we will continue to the upside. So once again, look for potential levels that price could pull back to form a support at before we head back up. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we remain bearish in structure on the 4-hour, but we've just broken a resistance on the 4-hour. We could potentially head back up to 18,716 roughly. And as far as support, I mean, I'll wait till we go down to the 30-minute to draw in some levels, but we are technically bearish. Not much volume as to be expected around this time of day. On to the M30. Might just change this zone a bit, just a little bit. Alright, so the M30 structure, believe it or not, is still technically bearish, but it's about to flip bullish if in the next 19 minutes price closes above this swing point. So I'm just going to leave it in. Or it's technically bullish. It has actually closed above. I would say it's bullish. So therefore, we've got the bias. It's at technically neutral at this stage. The bias. Pretty bit of a tricky one, to be honest, Naz. The way it's just consolidating just now. So what I'd be inclined to do is just move this support down to this level here. Below it, it's a lot cleaner. Off the current level, we've got this level of resistance to the left that price could potentially pull up to. So probably what I want to see now is, whilst we're consolidating, I don't trust the first move out of consolidation, because it could do any of this. It could just look like it's about to break and ends up pulling all the way back. So I mean, you've had multiple counters here. You've had this counter here look like it was going to break to the downside, pull back up. You've had this counter try to break out, didn't really continue the move though. Current counter as well, it's just an inside bar counter. So in this type of scenario, what I prefer to see is let move up, start to move away from this mess. Now I can look for option A, rejection of this resistance here, 18,670. Potentially look for a sell option, or option B, price to then pull back and give me my options to buy it once again a little bit lower down. So that would look somewhat like so. If we create a clean move up, then pull back, high low, and pull away from support yet again. So at that point, you're playing within a cleaner candles made from the impulse to the upside. Now, as far as further sell options, current daily, levels within the current daily that we should, if we are to continue bullish, what we should do is really respect those levels and no need to break below them. So we've got this level here. If we do pop down to that level, we could look to buy it. However, if we start to break below it and close below it, there's a high probability at that point there it will continue to the downside. So I'd be looking for the sell options below support form within the current daily candle, 18,571. Buys above it. And this rate just depends how prices approaches that level of resistance. I potentially look to sell it. Yeah, it could be a potential level new weekly pulls back to before it creates more of a potentially the highest point, the new weekly upper wick, create a resistance before it flips back to the downside, but just the potential level that we could reject, really. So I'd probably be looking for sells below it, to be honest. On the right confirmation within price action, doesn't mean I just sell it, so it taps into it. But with NAS, you just need to wait for it to create some more data. It's very slow right now. BJ melting, wow. Tough one to get involved. Very tricky price action. I'm not sure if this broke below the previous and then created its upper wick. But irrespective of that, I would not be trusting it right now. Sorry?
It started first go up and then break down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not too fussed about missing that. So we'll see on gold. Nice strong closure. Now see how this M15 closes, if there is to be any potential option on the next M30 candle. So want this candle to close weak bearish, especially if it leads a long wick to the downside, so you have greater confirmation. Roger, you trade with levels or order blocks as well. I have to support resistance. Silent, so all good, my friend. What are you here for? again, I stick to my own plan. It's all good, my friend. To me, it's not a valid entry. You know by now, mate, I'm very strict with my rules. There'll be times where I don't trade for a few days. There'll be times where I take 2-3 trades in one stream. I just do me. I stick to my plan because it works. So quite frankly, I could not give a shit if you're looking for sells below that level. You execute upon it, well done to you, but to me it's not an entry. We don't have to agree on entries. I've said it earlier. It's the beauty of trading. It's subjective. Everyone has a different opinion. Some might be looking for a buy, others are looking for a sell. It's just what you can make work for you. And what, quite frankly, what I do works for me. So there's no need to listen to another person's opinion. I just follow my own advice. The goal right now, it's moving to the upside, but fine. Am I bothered? Not at all. Not one bit, because it just has not given me my catalyst within price action to buy it just yet. GU's back at that support. That's better. This is what I want to see from GU. Now see how it reacts to this level. Guys in the TikTok, once again, you give me a follow and jump across to YouTube channel. Do subscribe to YouTube channel. That's where you get regular content and live streams. So in your best interest to do so. Free, so why not? What was I going to do? That's it. Alright, so I'm going to now draw in a level here on the M30. So for me at this rate, my next point of entry for a potential buy is likely going to be above this resistance on the 15-minute. That will be above the highest point of this candle. So again, there's still plenty of time. Who knows? The next M30 may bounce off the support. Would end up back above at 23,350. But this is the most recent resistance formed on the move to the downside. If we were to respect it, then I feel it's a high probability at that point we'll continue to the downside. But if we pop above it, then there's a good chance that we will be once again heading back up towards that 200.6 level. Now the M30 will confirm flipping bearish structure shortly in the next 9 minutes if it was to close below this gray zone. But who knows, still could bounce off it. 9 minutes left. Just have to wait and see. All good, my friend, so you do it, Silent. I have no idea why you're here, to be honest. Gbpjpy? I'm not, honestly, I'm not fussed at all. I really couldn't give a shit. Once again, it doesn't let me lose focus on what I'm doing, so I couldn't give a shit. Good luck to him if he's doing well, but what do I care who he's following? And have no concern whatsoever what he's got to say, to be honest. It's not affect me in any way whatsoever. All good, Franco. That really doesn't worry me. I couldn't care less. In all honesty, I really couldn't care less. I really don't have the time to worry about. I mean, you guys see it on the daily, what I do, and it works. What more do I have to do to prove it? Is still melting, so again, that's fine. Not a problem at all, because this now just opens up potential options to sell. I like the fact that it's making a nice clean move and right down to this level of support. Now if we bounce off it, obviously there is the level we could potentially put back to retest is the level of support we've just broken. So that's then my plan moving forward. That's what I'd be waiting for. Price to pull back to that level there. Reject. Once again, look for my catalyst. There's data print. There's more data prints. I just reassess. Simply, that's all I do. I fine tune everything to the point where eventually I get my option. You guys see it. When I get my option, set the rule. And more often than not, when it does present, I'm on the end of a really nice, high probability trade. And in the end, more often than not, a really good result too. So simply what I do. Hold tight. Wait patiently. Thank you for the sub, by the way. And cheers to the TikTok guys as well for joining and for following. God attempting to flip M15 bearish. The candle. Yep. Still no confirmation to sell it though. Because at this stage, even if the 15-minute close is bearish, it's still up against this strong 30-minute candle. Strong bounce off the daily low. Good things to have tapped into this level though, or our resistance. So it could provide potential options moving forward. But in all honesty, what I prefer to see right now is this candle close back a stronger bullish candle. I probably prefer us to pull back further into this zone, then start rejecting, forming a bit of support below it, and then it gives us more margin to take a sell back down. If it pulls up at this point here, the issue and concern could be is that we could just pull back to this previous level, form a support above it, create a high low, and start trending to the upside, potentially retesting the structure on the M30 timeframe, less significant lower high. And if we start to pop above, close above it, we're going to flip structure bullish in the M30. Not only that, we're going to be flipping the daily candle back, or breaking our own high within the current daily candle. Once again, we've got a lower high, lower low to the previous. We want to continue bearish. Don't really need to pop back up, break our own high. If we do so, a good chance we will continue further to the upside. Rick, more into you. I'm sure I saw you in the chat earlier. Nonetheless, good morning once again. Hope you're well. So this is all good, guys. This is, for me, this is fine for GJ moving forward. Doesn't mean that it's going to be a bearish week based off this. But yes, we're flipping 30-minute structure bearish, but what we're doing is, at this stage, creating a lower wick on the weekly, pulling back within that previous daily candle, strong bullish candle. Let's mark it on the fib. Have we retraced it at 50%? Not quite, but if you were to draw it in from the open to the high, then that's where we're bouncing off right now. So it could potentially just be the pullback to create lower wick on the new weekly. We form a support around this point here, and that could be a good chance that is the case. But often what you'll find is on a Monday, even if you're bullish across the board, if you're looking for, let's just say you're in an uptrend, the new weekly opens up, the candle creates a slow wick, flipping M30 structure bearish creates low wick. But eventually what you find is it's a short-lived flip. Structure will start to flip back bullish, and price continues to trend live the previous weekly candle. That's what potentially could be happening just now, but obviously we won't have any of those sort of confirmations until we move forward into the week. But just by seeing the way the current daily is forming doesn't convince me that we're going to end up selling off completely throughout the week. If we start to have a strong daily candle, if we have a strong daily candle bearish closure, and then have candle probabilities in the following day, break the upper wick, begin to break low of the current daily, then there is a good chance the price could pull back further into the previous weekly candle. But if I was to look for buys from lower down, in considering that could be the fact that we've maybe just created a lower wick for the new weekly, definitely need to see structure form at this point. So it's not going to flip the actual 30-minute structure itself, but seeing we've had a strong sell-off from the daily high, I wouldn't just buy it based off one catalyst candle. I need to see some consolidation, then price begin to create high low, higher high, and as we pull away from that support, similar to what we had here, exactly the same type of thing is what I want to see here. That sort of catalyst form once again at this level if I was to look for a buy. So hopefully that makes sense, and might make you some dollars later on if you're paying attention. So gold rejecting, 15's closed bearish, don't have any confirmation on 30-minute. 30 minutes closed bullish, 30-minute is the higher time frame, the stronger confirmation, so I'm just waiting. Cheers, Franco. RS, yeah, I'll have a look for you. Appreciate you guys in TikTok. Thank you. I've had quite a lot of you follow, so cheers, appreciate that. Once again, jump across to the live YouTube stream. Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is with TikTok, I'm gonna get banned again, so just make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you'll catch me in the daily there if you can't see me, if you can't find me on TikTok. So USD CAD, let's take a look. All right, strong push on the current daily candle. So the previous candle closed back call it a weak bearish candle, close to its low and high. But based off that, what normally would happen yet again is the new candle doesn't necessarily need to pull back to create much of an upper wick for us to continue bearish, but now it's broken low of that previous candle and is now pulling back. Let's mark in the open of that previous candle, just see what we got above that level there. So I would call that weak bearish. Now looking at the daily structure itself, that remains bullish from this big impulse to the upside. That is the origin of the swing to the upside. Therefore, anything between these lows and these highs, technically in structure, we are bullish. We are just range bound at the moment, bouncing off previous support here to the left hand side. So we're bullish, bouncing off the support. Looking at it on the 4 hour, that is bearish in structure. Yep, it's definitely bearish. All right, so just beyond the open of that previous weekly candle, we've got the resistance on the 4 hour where structure, if we close above it, will flip bullish. Bounced off this area of support to the downside. So that is our range on the 4 hour. I'm going to remove that. Just broken or breaking a resistance as we speak as well. I'm probably marked something on the M30. So the 4 hour is bearish. We've got the daily, as you mentioned, bullish. Daily's bullish, 4 hour bearish, weekly bearish. The all important M30 now. So the M30 is bullish. So the bias is neutral on USD CAD at a resistance. What I'd be looking for, seeing right now we've come from quite a push from the downside. Created within a current daily candle, we are forming some nice structure though. We've created a high, high, low, high, high. If we flip the M30 structure bullish in the meantime, what I want to see just now is I'd be marking this level of resistance, and if price was to pull back and once again create a higher low at that point there, I'd be looking for my counter price action and buy it back up to retest the current daily candle high. At that point, you can also potentially look for further buys upon a continuation. So I'd be looking for buys above upon the pullback of that 1.3634 roughly. Now, further options, if we once again, because we're at a previous level of resistance, if price just begins to consolidate and we pop above the consolidation, so probably be something more for the next 4 hour candle, then that could also provide for a buy option above that level. I would not look for it just now because we have not exhausted from this big move from the support here, 1.36240. So rather see a little bit of sell pressure come back in, bringing some sellers, closing some bearish candles. And if you wipe those bearish candles out by closing back above the resistance, that's when I'd start to consider my options to buy it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be chasing it just now. I probably wouldn't be interested in selling it at the moment. Got this previous level of support in the 4 hour. Probably for the sellers, if it does pull back to this previous support, the 4 hour support, that being reject, and then we start popping back below 1.3650 psychological round number as well, that could be an option to start looking for sellers back below that level, back below previous resistance that's just breaking out of just now. That's probably when I'd start to entertain potential sell options on USD CAD moving forward. And otherwise, the other option is if it just creates a nice, continues to trend up, nice clean impulse to the upside, and you're just waiting for a pullback later on, potentially on the next 4 hour candle, creates a slow wick, you could buy it from support. That is your other option moving forward. So hopefully that covers it. And yeah, back to GJ. So now we're trying to bounce off this support. Obviously, only 6 minutes into a new candle, not even. So this is now the level I want to see price respect if I was to look for a buy later on into 3NY. RS, not a problem. All right, so now the next potential sell option for me on gold is, see, look at this at this point, we're about to tap into this previous resistance. So if we now form another support at that level, only to start closing back below it, that's when I can look for a potential sell. So right now, if this candle closes back, relatively strong bearish, preferably below this range, followed by a weak bullish candle, and we still remain below its previous resistance, could trigger some options to sell on the next M30 candle. So that's what I'm waiting for just now. Oh. And it's cold here in Melbourne. Oof. Suvi from TikTok. Sorry, I just saw that message. Sell 15-minute rejection. No, not for me on gold. So I want to see how it reacts to this previous level of resistance just now. That's what I'm waiting to see. If we respect it, then there's a good chance we'll head up. I mean, I can just buy it, but if we form a support at it, only to close back below this level, then it's going to open up options to take a sell. We are still bearish on the 30-minute on gold in structure. So this is a potential option. Create a bit of support, only to pop back and close below that support at previous resistance. Then in my opinion, there's a high probability we're going to come back down towards the current daily candle's low. And if it just melts, that's all good, no problem. Oh. How are we going, guys? Anyone in any trades? Let me know. Rick, now it's 100 short. For me, I don't believe in trading at this time of day. I don't trust the volume. Because often what I find during Asian session and London session doesn't mean it won't or can't make a move, but often I find it just consolidates for the most part. And it makes big moves obviously during MY and pre-MY. For me right now, I would not be selling it because he's selling it into this support. So for me, I'd rather wait for price to pop below it. It's also a 30-minute support. It's essentially just consolidating. There is no real direction. There's nothing sustained. Every time it looks like it's about to pop up, it just rejects. Obviously it looked like it was about to melt and shit the bed, but it's now respecting the support formed within the current daily candle. So for me right now, I'd just be patiently waiting on NAS. Now for form support, yet again at previous support, we were to continue bullish, she'll really have no need to pull back and break through and close below support. If we do so, that's when I start trusting sell options. I think this opens up options to buy it though moving forward, now that we've rejected quite heavily. So again, rejected, respected a support form. If we do respect the support form within the current daily candle, we can approach the highs of the current daily towards a higher time of volume for NAS, pre-MY into MY open. That's when I believe buys above are more valid. Because we're triggering those sellers, we've formed a resistance. We were to continue bearish, have no need to pop above, close above. If we begin to do so, there's a high probability at that point there we're going to retest 18,668. Bearish engulfing. Yeah. Other than that, you still got support, so that's what I'd be looking at. But nonetheless, thank you for asking. You're more than welcome. Spirit, you're looking for buys and gold, just waiting for confirmation. These weeks are just off-putting, really off-putting. And that's what I meant before, guys, why I wasn't interested in selling it off the 15. Yeah, you would have got your 10. Just. Or maybe not. Yeah, just. But still, that's my concern. And that's what I mentioned before about trying to squeeze out the last bit of toothpaste out of a tube of toothpaste. A little bit more margin in this case, but GJ sells Caspiro, sorry to use you as the example, but a few of the guys that I coached as well last week trying to take a similar entry. When you're trying to squeeze out 10 pips from margin, that's little more than 10, and often it's not. Like that particular case, I think it was like 8 or 9 once you count for spread, and it's less probable. You're better off just to wait, let it do its thing, cut through, make a clean move, open it up again, then pull back. Then you're playing within more margin, if that's the case. Similar in gold just now. Not a great deal of margin to tap back into that level. I mean, if you were to remove that, it looks really clean. But to me, I can't ignore that. Again, it's a potential level that price could just create a higher low at and end up trading back in line with the most recent push, the most recent impulse to the upside. So that's why I want to see some support form, because if we are to create support, we should respect it, likely head up. It's going to be difficult trying to buy it within this wick though. However, on the flip side, if we reject the support only to pop below 23.23, then we're likely going to head back towards the downside, towards the current daily candles low. Adam, I'm on TikTok. I prefer trading gold. It is my primary pair, but I also trade GJ. Not so much lately. All right, and this is where I feel people can get tricked out a little bit on GJ. Because what you've got here is not a bad catalyst. You've got a strong bullish closure on the 15. And if you were to close a weak bearish candle, and what that's going to do is close the M30, still a quite relatively strong bullish candle. And then you using candle probabilities on a following candle, great slow wick begins to break. That's usually when you're taking the entry. But in this scenario, from what I've seen of late, after a big move, well, relatively solid move to the downside anyway, the current daily forming a strong bearish candle, I'd rather wait for more data. I'm not going to get involved off the first candle to close back bullish at support. So what I'd rather wait for is, once again, very similar to what we had here. Let it consolidate. We don't need to be first to the move always. And if it happens to go, just accept it. It's not your move. What I prefer to see is that consolidation. A little bit of this in the M30. Then it starts to pull away from it. You get your catalyst like so, just here, closure above it. It's a much higher probability entry in my opinion at that point. And that's just me adapting to what I've seen of late. To also, through my coaching, through some entries I've noticed some of the guys have been taking, that some have not worked. And that is the only thing I can see. When they're looking to take, at times it's not even counter trend, at times it's respecting the structure in the M30, that level it's pulling back to, but it's had a big move from the high, for instance. You need to wait for some more solid structure to form at this level, as opposed to buying it based off one candle. It requires patience, it requires a lot of discipline, but trust me, if you can sit there and do that, you're gonna save yourself getting caught out a lot of times from being too early to the party. We all want to buy low, we all want to sell high. I like to do so. I like to buy upon continuation above the highs too. I like to sell on continuation below the lows as well. But again, you just need to wait for the right confirmation. And if it's had a big sell-off, let it form some structure. If it formed at this point here, where, yeah, it's still quite a strong move, but you're respecting a 30-minute structure, that's when I'd look for a nice catalyst within price action and potentially buy it based off one candle. But seeing it's flipped the M30 structure bearish, and we're trending quite strong to the downside within the current daily, that's when I said to myself, wait, I need to see a little bit more of a confirmation than just one candle. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Once again, for education, if you can, please hit the like button. Guys on YouTube, least you can do. Jim, thank you for your reply in the TikTok. Booty, when placed buy or sell? Not yet. Jim? No, it doesn't mean now we sell. I love some of the comments, to be honest. You're all good. I appreciate you all. Really do. I even appreciate you, Silent. You're entitled to your opinion. But you're just not going to stir the pot with me because I really couldn't give a shit. Thank you guys for the follow on TikTok.
GG is pushing down.
What's that?
GG is pushing down.
Interesting. Will this now provide potential sell options? Who's seeing what I'm seeing? Now, if this closes significantly engulfing without making a move, without hitting target, so the target is pretty much this support. So if it doesn't tap into the target, then what I'm seeing is we've got a very strong engulfing candle. I could use a few options here. I could use the fib trick. And if we close, for instance, where we are just now, what I could then do is set a sell limit order at the 50% level of the current candle on the next candle. As soon as it opens up, as long as it doesn't just melt on the new candle, so I want it to pull back straight away, creates up a wick, tap into that level, and that could be my potential sell zone. So that is what I'm keeping an eye on just now. That could be the option. That's option A. Option B is a sell limit back at the low of that bullish candle. So once again, I still haven't fixed the color for my fib on the MetaTrader, so I can't. I'm just, if I'm looking to get take an entry at 50% of the current candle on the next M30, I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do is just market execute when I see it actually tap in on the MetaTrader, on the trading view, sorry. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. Wait 7.5 minutes. This candle cannot tap into this level here though, 199.850. It does, it's tapped into target. I'm not interested, because then what it could do is bounce off it, tag you in, for instance, right, a high low, take you out, and trend bullish. So remove the fib for now. Just need to wait 7 minutes. So now GJ is the focus. So to the 47 of you over in the TikTok chat, make sure to jump across to the YouTube stream. Do subscribe, do join, because I'm probably about to end the TikTok stream just in case I get a ban again. So what I'm looking out for, guys, if you can't jump across to YouTube, is I'm waiting to see how this candle closes. If it closes a strong bearish engulfing candle, so I'd say, how to determine if it's strong enough or not, I'd say it has to close at least about 5 pips below this support. So I'd want it to close around that. Let's measure it quickly. I would say around 199.970. If it closes below that point, what I'd then be doing is using the fib. I'd just mark in from high to low to high, whatever, and then just mark in the 50% of the catalyst candle, and then look for a sell limit order at the 50% level. As price taps into it, I'd be selling it in anticipation. You've got the catalyst, this candle closing strong bearish engulfing. Stop loss would have to be back above it. So long as this candle doesn't tap into the target in the next 5 minutes, and it's still melting next 5 and a bit minutes. So that's what I'll be looking for, guys, over in the TikTok. But for the time being, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you. So make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm still streaming on YouTube. I'll be on and see how this candle closes. Potentially looking for a trade on the next M30. So to the guys in the TikTok, I appreciate you for joining. I'm only doing this to save my ass, because last time I tried to take a trade live, I got done. I got banned. So jump across YouTube. Aren't as what's the YouTube channel? A.C.T. Forex. I'm streaming live right now on YouTube as well. I can't send links in. Hold on, I'll type it in. All right. All right, guys. Cheers to the guys on Discord. Sorry, Discord, on TikTok. Jump across. I've just typed in the channel name. I'll see you in there shortly. Make sure to say g'day. And to the guys on YouTube, I'm still on, so don't go anywhere. Guys in TikTok, cheers. Take care. I'll see you probably tomorrow.
Just about to love and leave you, Justin.
G'day, mate. Look, it is. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, mate. You?
Fantastic. Been a fair while. It's been going on, brother.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I've moved to my partner's at the minute. So I'm just trying to get my desk and everything set up.
Okay.
But yeah, all sort of fully in now. So yeah, just trying to get back to it and get going.
Nice one. When's the move to Sydney?
Oh, there's been another little change of plans.
Oh, has there? Throw another spanner in the works. So that's on hold, is it?
It's still going to happen, but maybe in a year's time, because I think we're going to Hong Kong first for a year, and then to Sydney after.
Wow. That's a bit of a backflip.
Yeah, it's obviously my dad was in Sydney, but he's been asked to move to Hong Kong, so
Oh, okay. Yep.
Go there for a little while. Enjoy the Hong Kong rewards if you like, and then go to Sydney.
Going to be bloody hot there, but can imagine be some be definitely worth good shopping, good food.
Yeah, that's the photo I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'd
be the best bit.
I'd absolutely love it, I'm sure. Probably see some strange things on the menu, similar to what you see over in Thailand, but it'd be definitely worth it. GJ's tapped into target, so it's a no entry.
Oh yeah.
So how's the training been going? Nonetheless, have you been training?
Yeah. I've to be honest, I haven't really been trading gold much, or GJ. I've sort of been looking at sort of GU and even EU as well.
Oh really?
So yeah, I think I had a little bit of a like a losing streak with some of them, and I fancy like a little bit of a change. Plus, my spreads for GJ and gold just went crazy with alpha.
Oh okay.
So I just sort of.
Well, that's similar to Franco. I think that's why you only more prefer to trade GU and in EU now.
Yeah.
Based off that, I think Franco's the same. So
yeah. GJ, I've got 2.5 pips, and gold I've got 1.5.
That's a bit better, but yeah, GJ, I would not be happy. That reminds me of when I was with All Under. Fantastic service and really good broker, but even on the raw spread account, I think the spread on GJ was still 2 pips. So it was hard because obviously if you're looking for your 10 plus, it makes it obviously more difficult especially if you got not a bigger range, margin, sorry, within a range.
Yeah.
Trying to squeeze out 10 from maybe, 12 pip range, but then you've got consider the fact that your spread is wider.
That's it. Makes it difficult.
It definitely does.
What about you, mate? How you been? Has things been going?
Yeah, pretty good. Just plodding along. I mean, streams are going well. We had a really good week last week, 3-0. The New York sessions are going really well as well. I'm enjoying those. Getting to know some of the guys more closely. There's a lot more turning up to an NY call as well, which is good. And yeah, the training's been good. Everything's all right. It's winter here in Melbourne, so it sucks. I'm still a big unit, like I always was, my friend. So you'd be happy to hear that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But no, nothing's changed, brother. Just the same old same.
Oh, good man. I'm gonna see if I can. I don't think I'm gonna make it today, but I'm gonna try and join up a little NY call with you.
Yeah, I won't be on today, unless I'll be on tomorrow and Wednesday. So.
Okay, perfect. All right, we'll sort out for the rest of the week.
Nice one. YouTube, you gun in? You're in GJ Soul, maybe. I'm assuming that's good if you are. Samly, all good. Reb Mumba. Right now, you need to chill. Made the move. It's tapped into that level, and it's just continuing to melt. So, for me, there is not much you can do with GJ. Gold is now trading within his wick. I'm not so keen on that, in all honesty. Red Mamba. I mean, risky entry on this candle as it flips and breaks the high of the previous, but we're trading within this resistance now. So for me, I'd rather just wait and see. I'd see how this 4 hour closes. in my opinion. I'd rather, if we were to look for buys moving forward, I want this candle to close a really strong bullish candle right up near its high. Preferably in gold. Could happen. Who knows? But if nothing else, you can flip structure bullish and then maybe pull back. Previous support on the new fire. Create the upper wick. Oh, lower wick, sorry. And then potentially buy it from lower down. Thank you. Oh, Steve Dean. Welcome to the squad. How are you, brother? There we go. First member. Appreciate you. Congratulations on being #1. Getting access to those emojis, my friend, which I made myself, believe it or not. For use of Canva. I'm not all that computer illiterate. I'm a lot better than what I thought it was. Unfortunately, it's not that great a deal. I mean, we'll start adding content, and especially when more members start joining, there'll be a lot more content being added to it. But I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. We need to speak, by the way, buddy. Gotta organize those sessions. What are you looking at today? Tell me, you got any ideas for GU or EU?
I did want EU sells, but I didn't manage to get an opportunity, mate. It's gone without me.
Yep. Yeah, that rejection. Nice strong catalyst, but not much margin, that's the thing.
Yeah. And then plus the stops were more than I wanted them to be as well.
Yeah, especially on EU. I think the beauty about EU and GU, you get some really tight one-to-ones. That's what I like about it. I've mentioned it to Franco, trades GU a lot. There's nothing wrong securing at 5 pips if you stop loss at 5 pips.
Yeah.
There's no written rule that you have to, written law, you have to secure at 10 or whatever it is. That's the good thing about those majors.
Done for the day.
Yeah, well, that's it. A 1-to-1, 5 pips, and you're done. Not a bad day's work.
Spreads as well.
Yeah, that's it. You get a lot tighter spreads, don't you? On IC markets, I don't think there is a spread, is there? On I haven't checked.
It's tiny. There's like nothing of it.
Yeah, 0.1 or 0.2 most of the time.
Yeah.
Let me see. I've got GU.
EU 0.
0.1.
GU 0.1.
Yeah, it's 0.1. 0 to 0.1.
Best.
Red Mama, should you close the GJ? So this is a chart I sent him to Discord prior to all this printing, obviously. So pretty much done. What I mentioned, if it did pop up, doesn't mean it's obviously I didn't get it to sell, so it doesn't mean it's easy as selling it. So what should you do by now? What are you in? Talk to me. What are you going to sell? I hope you're going to sell. Brother, you seem to be a little bit confused. You should have a plan for all this prior to any entry. You closed already. So you closed and now you're asking if you should buy it? Just tune into the streams, my friend. Make sure to tune into the streams regularly. That's all I can say. Just tune in and you'll learn about patience, you'll learn about discipline, you'll learn about how to spot quality entries. Don't switch. The man switched from a sell to a buy. Gotta love it. Steve, worth every penny. I appreciate you. Don't worry, it never works. Not normally, no, it doesn't. I used to do shit like that when I was not so disciplined and when I was didn't have control of my emotions and found it hard to take a loss. Not having any of that, jump straight back in, dig another hole. do it again, start to dig my grave one more time and not sleep that night. That's how it used to be. That's honestly, I remember those days. Never again, never again. Take a loss, walk away, accept it. Alrighty guys, what are we to look at? So obviously GJ is continuing to shit the bed. Whilst it's shitting the bed, all I can really wait for is these pauses to form and then look for the limit sell options. That is all I can really do at the moment if it is to continue to the downside, because it's not pulling back at all. It's just in a strong trend at the moment within the current daily candle. So quite simply what I'd be waiting for is exact same sort of thing as what we've got at this point here, and lower down and that support. Wait for a candle to close back bullish, and if we are to continue trending to the downside, only to engulf that candle, as long as it hasn't made the move to a target. So targets at this rate are previous levels of support. As long as we've got room and we haven't tapped into those targets and we've created that pause within it, we've wiped out that pause, I've been looking for my limit order sells. Aside from that, if we do make a pullback, eventually stop trending, make a pullback, we are bearish in structure in the M30. I'm just looking to see what potential levels we could pull back to that we previously formed a support at that could act or react, price react as and form a resistance at those levels. So we've got 20.5, 0.05 or 200 flat roughly. We pull back to reject that level. And there's a good chance it could be just the new 4-hour creating top wick, forming the highest point of the new 4-hour. It rejects, starts to close below resistance, pop below resistance, support, sorry, at resistance. Could be options to sell it. Not interested in buying it at the moment. Once again, buyers, I need to see it consolidate a bit, form some structure similar to what we had over here, which I mentioned earlier, if I was to entertain buyers, because at the moment it's in a heavy downtrend within the current daily candle. I'd rather just play it in line with the current daily. That's GJ. Gold, so hence why I wasn't interested in selling it before. It's bounced off this support and is now on the 15, create a higher low. So now if we pull back to retest the resistance formed at the current daily candle's high, flip the 30-minute structure bullish, I feel there's going to be options to buy it moving forward. I would prefer to see some sort of pause at that resistance again, not straight push to the upside now. So perhaps even if it's the new 4-hour pops up first, it may do so, then pull back to create slow wick, form support above previous resistance, confirming support yet again. Could potentially look to buy it lower down. Now, as for the sells, the good thing is, if we pull back up to that level, make a clean move just now, even on the 15, 30s is very clean, only to once again reject and stay bearish on the 30-minute in structure, giving us still a bias to the downside. What I'd be looking for is once again a little bit of support to form below the resistance, begin to drop below it, pop below it, close below it, pull away from that support, and it's a high probability we will come back down. At least at that point, you've got a little bit more margin, even if it was just to pull back and create a high low at that 23, 24, as opposed to if it rejects just now, you're not really going to have the margin sell it back down to that level. And then obviously the further sells back below the resistance we've just broken out of. So if we pop back below 23, 20, 23, 23, 24, 23, 23, start to bounce off it, only to reject and close below it, that's your further sell option. Probably all I can do right now on gold, just wait for that to happen. Just answer the last few questions. Jungen, you bought at 23.23. Nice one, so you're looking good. Just manage it, make sure you don't take a loss. I agree. 54K4. Agree with that comment to Reb Mumba. Rick, what time frame you mark support resistance? So the 4 hour is the gray zones, more significant levels. So I've got this gray, well, it is a resistance on the 4 hour, plus it lines up with previous support. And the M30 is the minor zones formed in between the 4 hour range. So that's about it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it, guys. I'm not gonna get anything right now. And Mondays, it's cool. I don't often trade on a Monday. Again, if it's perfect, if it ticks the box in accordance to the rules, I will take the trade, but there's no rush. There is absolutely no rush to take any trades. We're all good moving forward. At least more data prints gives us potentially more options based off that into MY and tomorrow. Just quickly before I go, I will be on tomorrow from 7:30 a.m. once again, guys. Tuesday streams from 7:30 a.m. I appreciate you all for joining. If you would like to know more about the services, they're all down in the description below. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. Keep an eye out for YouTube shorts to be dropping over the next 3 days. Actually, one just doesn't qualify for a short because it's 1 second over. So 3 videos, 2 shorts and 1 video. And yeah, I'll post those on Instagram as well and probably TikTok. So appreciate you guys for joining. Tommy, Franco, thank you.
Yeah.
Vince.
Thank you, Justin. See you tomorrow then.
Justin.
Cheers, mate. I hope to see you. Yeah, I hope to see you guys more often. Tommy as well. So appreciate it for joining. And you too, Franco.
Yeah, bye.
Cheers, guys. And to YouTube
Take
chat.
care, mate.
You too, mate. To YouTube chat, take care. Have a good one. I'll catch you tomorrow. And keep an eye out for MY updates for Discord, guys. Cheers. Take care. Bye, guys.